it like the benefactor's benefactor. Well, truthfully, we know you never been a factor. Well, honestly, the truth is that you've been an actor. And now your actions got them boys about to mass up. Lectures from the devil got you piping hot. This up and you get screwed and chopped, no Michael Watts. When I was 10, I knew I should have been on rap a lot. Think like Jay Prince and I do more than just rap a lot.
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Washington football team. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
1st and 10, 46-yard line.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Fields. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. Coleman again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tevin Coleman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. On first down, here's Franks. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
There's McLaurin. What a catch. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Franks. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. The Franks looking to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 34-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. This defense for the Bears, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Franks. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball,
leader, right?
to make a big play. Yeah. Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On second down now, it's Coleman. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. Throwing on third down, Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feed.
And this is caught. Touchdown. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. It saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense.
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Fields now to throw. Drops it off for Coleman. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. On fourth down, Fields. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off inside the 5, past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I'm not sure it made a difference on that play, but one thing to keep in mind, here in the early part of the year during a day game, the sun does play a factor on deep balls.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Franks now. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Franks winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Bears take over.
At their own 36-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
That's caught, and again it's Goodwin. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Fields throwing again. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Shakes off the sack. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Fields. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Fields. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. A final shot before break. Franks. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Franks, third down from the gun. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the gun on third down, Fields. He's got Watkins on the out route. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On first down, Fields. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. Steps away to his left. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They will run again with Coleman. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. Now a second down throw. Here's Franks. Taking a shot for Samuel. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Washington. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. Third time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw is Fields. Rolling to his right. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Antonio Gibson, the ball carrier. He was brought down at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, Washington.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. And oh, he coughed it up. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, Franks looking long for Thomas. And this is caught inside the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for Washington. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Shedding the tackler, that gives him some room. 30. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. Khalil Herbert. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bears cut into that lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. Franks now to throw on first down. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. Franks winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
On 3rd down, Franks. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now a first down throw, Fields. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chase Young showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on second and goal. Out of the gun, Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
43 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. On second down, here's Gibson again.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First down, Washington.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 3rd and 2, Franks. Looking middle, and that's complete. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
The 20-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively? I
wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So a victory here for the Washington football team. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there were